Have you noticed this crazy trend just completely taking over your feed lately? Seriously, this faceless documentary niche is absolutely blowing up right now. Creators are pulling in hundreds of thousands, sometimes literally millions of views, with these explainers that honestly look ridiculously simple. We're talking no camera, zero actors, no expensive production crew, just fascinating deep dives into stuff like the economics of owning a casino, or maybe how an airport actually works. But if you look a little closer, something kind of strange is happening. It's not just one genius creator doing this. It's channel after channel using almost the exact same formula to build these highly successful automated machines. So welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to totally reverse engineer this viral blueprint from start to finish. So I guess the big question here is, can we really build this entire style of channel using AI? Like automate almost the whole shebang? The answer is a massive, resounding yes. But, and this is a big but, the secret isn't just mindlessly mashing a button on ChatGPT. The creators actually crushing it are using a super specific recipe. We're talking simple economics topics, thumbnails driven by pure curiosity, faceless narration, and this very distinct, almost hand-drawn visual style. And today, we're going to break down exactly how you can automate that entire workflow basically for free. The biggest breakthrough here isn't just blindly copying a niche that's already saturated. If you run this blueprint through an AI like Gemini, it'll tell you right away that the goldmine is adapting the framework to totally untouched macro niches. Basically, massive industries hiding in plain sight. Think about cruise ships, emergency rooms, self-storage facilities, or data centers. Millions of people see them every single day, but almost nobody actually understands how they make their money. That's the sweet spot. Okay. Let's get right into phase one, engineering the perfect topic. Let's explore exactly how we use AI to filter these ideas before we even think about writing a single word of a script. Look at this amateur approach versus the professional framework. The biggest mistake new creators make isn't bad editing. It's not even weak thumbnails. It's asking the total amateur question, what should I make next? The professional framework flips that completely on its head. Instead, you program your AI to ask, what does the algorithm actually want to recommend? We're hunting for topics that the platform naturally wants to push because they have massive curiosity appeal, great visual potential, and real, tangible business stories with serious money on the line. Moving right along to phase two, scripting a real story. Now, this is where most automated workflows totally fall apart. But we're going to use Claude Opus 4.6 via GenSpark to find the hidden systems and real financial risks, rather than just spitting out robotic chatbot filler. Let's use a real example to see how the AI actually builds a gripping story. We'll look at the cruise ship case study, specifically focusing on finding the financial twist. At first glance, right, a cruise ship seems like the greatest money printing machine ever made. It's basically a floating ATM with a really nice water slide. But we prompt the AI to dig much deeper to find the real twist. And here is where it gets crazy. $2.7 million. That is the staggering estimated revenue a single massive cruise ship can generate in just one day on a voyage. I mean, Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas could realistically approach $1 billion in revenue in just a single year. When your AI digs up numbers like that, it instantly creates this immense sense of scale and awe that hooks the viewer right in. But you know, a good explainer needs conflict. It needs stakes. So our AI researcher finds the counterweight, $900,000 in daily operating costs. And here's the absolute kicker that makes this story so fascinating. That giant financial meter, it's ticking whether the ship is packed full of vacationers or just sitting completely empty at a dock somewhere, literally burning through roughly 250 tons of fuel every single day. Then, to build up that ultimate financial tension, we hit him with the initial risk, $2 billion. That's roughly what a modern megaship costs just to build. The second that ship hits the water, it is a colossal financial burden that absolutely has to keep generating cash for decades. So the AI script doesn't just list out dry facts. It structures these numbers to show a business model running on financial logic that is so aggressive, just a few empty weeks could trigger a literal billion-dollar crisis. It's intense. Yet, despite all those massive risks, check this out. Cruise lines run at these incredible 16 to 19% profit margins. That is nearly double the margins of comparable hotel chains. The AI identified the why here. A cruise ship isn't really a hotel at all. It's a captive floating marketplace. Passengers can't exactly just walk across the street to a cheaper competitor, right? That is exactly the kind of hidden, counterintuitive system that viewers absolutely love learning about. So here is the research-first scripting workflow. 1. Search real-world failures. 2, find the financial twist. And 3, create reversals and payoffs. This is the real magic. You aren't just generating walls of text. You're giving Claude specific instructions to hunt down real failures, locate that twist, and build natural payoffs. The goal is a script where every single answer naturally creates the next logical question. That's how you keep someone hooked for 20 or 30 minutes without them ever feeling like they're just, listening to a textbook. Okay, let's jump to phase 3, automating audio and visuals. We're going to see how we actually bring this crazy script to life, starting with generating some super authoritative audio using tools like 11 Labs. Now, once you've got your clean audio, maybe you used a tool to strip out the dead silence and ran it through Adobe Podcast Enhance to make it sound incredibly crisp, you run into a major visual hurdle. Like this quote points out, static images alone can still make an explainer feel heavily AI generated. You really can't just slap some random stock footage over 20 minutes of talking. The visuals have to actively, purposefully explain the story. To solve this, here is a really cool trick. We take the finished script and feed it back into ChatGPT, but we tell it to act as a storyboard artist. For the script concept of a $2 billion construction cost, the visual metaphor prompt isn't just a picture of a boat. No, ChatGPT suggests a massive price tag literally weighing the ship down into the water. Or for daily operating costs, it suggests a calendar literally throwing money away. It takes these super complex economic ideas and makes them instantly visually understandable. Now, obviously, generating 150 of those images one by one would be a total nightmare. So enter the visual automation engine. First, extract clean prompts via ChatGPT. Second, batch generate in Google Flow. Third, maintain a consistent hand-drawn style. You just ask ChatGPT to pull out the clean image prompts and then dump that massive list into Google Flow using its agent mode. You lock in a consistent hand-drawn explainer style with, say, a clean beige background, and boom, the AI systematically cranks out every single image for you. You've literally turned hours of manual copy and pasting into one simple batch process. It's a real game changer. All right, home stretch. Phase 4, the final assembly. This is where we outline the final polish, seamlessly syncing all those visuals to the exact voiceover lines so the story lands perfectly. Because you generated everything in order, assembly is actually pretty straightforward, but you absolutely have to edit for retention. This means you match visual duration to the exact narration. You add subtle keyframe movement, apply adjustment layers for consistency, and make sure that audio is perfectly clean. You never want to leave a static image just sitting there too long. Add those slow zoom-ins or gentle pans, just enough to make the still image feel alive without the viewer really noticing the animation. Then slap an adjustment layer over the whole timeline to correct contrast and exposure. Suddenly, every AI-generated image feels cohesive, premium, and totally intentional. Of course, none of this incredible work matters if nobody clicks on it, right? For the thumbnail psychology, you want to highlight risk and scale. So you feed the final script right back into Gemini. It analyzes the core story and spits out a thumbnail idea built entirely around the curiosity gap. For the cruise ship, maybe it highlights the sheer massive scale of the boat, surrounded by scary financial callouts like dry dock losses or fixed debt. Then you generate that in Google Flow so it perfectly matches the style of the explainer itself. When you finally put all these automated pieces together, the algorithmic topic filtering, that heavily researched script, the metaphorical images, and the polished editing, your entire perspective shifts. Like the source pointed out, you're not creating one documentary, you're creating an endless documentary machine. Think about that. Content creation is literally no longer the bottleneck. You now have this highly repeatable, totally scalable framework to decode the massive systems operating silently all around us every single day. The blueprint is out there, and the AI tools to pull it off are mostly free. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Look around your city today. What hidden industry is hiding in plain sight, just waiting for your machine to uncover it next?